The challenges that you're facing now, breaking into or trying to break into this cannabis market with the uncertainty that we're seeing at the state level with what's happening.
Yeah, that's a big question. So we're riding along. Farmers persevere, and so I think that overall, cannabis is a challenge like any other crop. It has to commoditize. It has to be the right inputs. It has to be the right pricing, and then you have to have revenue solves all problems. You have to have an outlet to sell it. So these. We're not even at the starting line of cannabis. We are gearing up. We had a practice year. We're trying to figure out how to grow it for the lowest cost, sell it for the most cost, and give people really beautiful product that helps and is healthful.
You have a crop that's still sitting in your greenhouses or wherever in storage that you weren't able to bring to market. Now you've got this second crop, and there's still no real market. How do you sustain that year after year? So far it's been 2 years before you're like, what are we doing here?
Right, so it's difficult when you're holding on to aging product and you're growing and harvesting new product, which these cannabis growers showcase that New York State allowed us to pop up and go to market like a farm market, but not for children. These cannabis growers showcase gave us the opportunity to package something and go to market, meet your farmer, understand what they're growing and what cannabis is, much like you would, which apple do you like, which cannabis strain do you like, and so it gave a really good opportunity to jar it up. Of course, that's challenging to come up with branding and marketing and cash flow to go to market in a retail setting that you're now responsible for your own table and your own branding and your own products, and then the sell-through, what's the rate, what's the conversion, how quickly are you moving through it? So it's definitely a bottleneck. We're sitting on product and we're having new product come in. We are treating it much like you would anything valued in climate control and with care, curing it, making sure that it stays fresh and the efficacy is there.
I mean, because the expectation was that you were going to wholesale this to somebody who was then going to retail it, right?
Correct. The idea was that we were wholesaling. We're not selling direct. There's a two-tier system in cannabis in New York State. One is the supply side, which 5 people eat out of, and then one is the retail side, which is how you sell it. So we're looking at the opportunity to sell wholesale, not sell direct, unless you're going after a micro license, at which we may, and that product coming to market for us was a way to bring other farmers in. So if our new product wasn't ready and this sold really quickly in the market, we could go to other farmers and buy and put their product in the thing. We didn't want to dupe people. We want to be honest. This is last year's harvest. We're selling through. It's been cured and cared for. It is beautiful product with high potency, and you can actually come see where it's grown. And so we wanted this to be our message to go out in a retail thing. Because we have to sell wholesale, we had to have another kind of catch for people to pay attention in a sea of brands that you can choose from. And so if you buy from a farm, meet your farmer, understand where it's coming from, hopefully you buy in and you respect it and you trust it, which is really important.
But you haven't even gotten there yet, right? Because there's no retailers to buy your product.
So the Grower Showcase is the answer. The retailers are the hope, and selling wholesale is the only shot we got in doing that. So being smart about that. I mean, you have basically 5 people eating out of one side of the supply chain, and you're selling wholesale. So you're splitting by 5. Then you have the retailer marking up 100%. At the Grower Showcase, at least they're marking up only 50% at most of them, but then you have to staff and be there. So your net cash is even, if you're lucky, break even, and you are hopeful to keep pushing product through that wholesale brand that you're launching.
What do you
doesn't mean it's going to work.
What do you need to have happen, and how quickly do you need it to happen in order to sort of make your vision a reality?
I would plead with Governor Hochul to open stores. we need stores to open. I would plead that farmers are given the opportunity to sell direct to their communities, in communities where people trust that farm and know that farm, and we can follow the regs and follow along and invite people to the farm and build some rural prosperity through this cannabis initiative. I would ask that the retailers work with the farmers to understand what's a big brand and what's a local brand, and what the markup is, not just across the board one markup. I would ask that we have a farmer making regulations in this state, if you're going to ask us to grow, what that look like. That would help with what are the needs for space and light and timing that would be more advantageous to growing it outdoor versus indoor, or what the differences are. So top three, we could go on, but it's always good to start with three.